So what does a person like me do all night when they have like an idea in their brain and they're diving into a certain topic like candles? Yeah, all night. This is our journey. Welcome to the Betancourt's homestead. I was researching the best way to remove the paint on glass without scratching it. Because I've used acetone and I've used paint thinner and it just didn't touch it. I think I figured it out. So let's get with it. First, I just want to say these are not my own ideas. I was literally reading and diving into blogs and YouTube videos and everything that you could possibly think of on removing paint from glass. Like, especially even home brewers do this kind of stuff because they remove the paint off of bottles. So I was watching it all. I'm going to do the first one that I think is going to work the best because that woman was genius. Let's get going. We're going to take 1 tablespoon of citric acid. Yes, she used this exact citric acid, and 2 tablespoons of very hot water, which I have the kettle going right there, and mix it into a non-reactive container, and then throw in enough flour to make a paste. Got to use this flour some way because I don't usually bake with it. Let's get going. I know by now you're going, say what? Right? Yeah, let's try it. What do we got? We got some old rags and plastic spoon because we're going to be professional about this. Let's get citric acid. We're going to put in some water. And here we go with the flour. And I'm just going to stir this up into a paste and we'll be back. Okay, now here's what we've got. We're going to see if it works. And it says to just put it all over it as a paste, rub it on, and let it sit. I'm going to do several bottles and we will come back. Jar number 1. Let's also do this one. And that one's done. Now let's try this one. If you haven't tried blackened, Metallica knows how to make a good whiskey. And we have this, and interestingly enough, it's already starting to come off on the spoon. Look at that. It's been the 10 minutes or the 5-10 minutes that she's allotted, so let's scrub this off and see. Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness! There's a little part of the C left. I'll have to do it again. There's not going to be enough time to see this one, and I think this is fascinating, so I'm going to do another TikTok. Stay tuned for part 2. Welcome back to part 2, where I geek out on weird things and I get fixated on stupid stuff. And right now we're trying to figure out how to remove paint off of the glass bottles. So this was the black end that we put this goop on that I talked about in the last TikTok that I will reference, and let's figure it out. This is actually really interesting. This one's going to need a second. It took the black off, but it didn't touch the blackened. Oop, it did a little bit. Oh, we got to rub on this one. Okay, here's the blackened. It started to take this off. I'm going to have to do it again. And it took all of the white writing off the back. I don't have much hopes for this. I haven't even touched it, but this is this one. It's not even touching that.
Might be much stronger because it's kind of
I'll be right back. Okay, back to the drawing board on this. It did nothing for it. Steel wool and the glass. And let's work on it. I have one other thing up my sleeve that I'm going to try, but let's go for it. It's starting, but it's an awful lot of work. Note to self, never buy candles that are fully painted all around. Okay, so I'm using 00 steel wool, and it appears to have taken it off and not really scratched it. But I have one other thing I really want to try before I commit to this kind of work. It's going to require one bowl that fits the jar. Going back to citric acid, because it's stronger than the apple cider vinegar and vinegar, move up in size of bowl. I'm going to take hot water and citric acid and make a little acid bath for it. Figured out how to weight everything down and gently submerge it. There you go, and we'll wait. People, it's working, look. Woo! Yay! It's only been in its bath for about 2 minutes. 2 minutes left, so let's just go. Note to self, make sure you clean the inside of the jars before you do this, because I don't want to get... Okay, let's get steel wool and try. Still got to scrub, but not as much, and I'm going with this one. Yep, it's going to take some work. Look what we've got. So I'm going to sit down and actually work on how I did all of this, and I'm going to come back with a much better tutorial video on how to do this, because there is a process. Talk to you guys all soon. Oh, and I got the writing off of these. But I learned an awful lot of things, of ways of not to do this. So give me some time and we'll figure it all out. Gather your candles together, get them all ready, and we're gonna work it all through. But right now I need a cup of coffee. Okay, it's time to look for more things that we could use on candles, but I have to tell you right now, I am running out of candles to strip. And my mom just showed up for pumpkin lattes. So we'll continue this later. Okay, people, I'm freezing, and we're gonna do this. Oh, I forgot the candle. Okay, my ADHD is really going wild right now. So, the steel wool scratched the heck out of this black one, and it did not remove this coating. So let's just see if we can do that. So some of you have said WD-40. I'm not sure if WD-40 is going to remove paint, but we're gonna try it. And I'm going to spray it on a section of this right here. I think I've used WD-40 before for the labels, the glue labels. But I'll be back in a minute. It made it nice and shiny. But no go. Not even letting it sit. So let's try this bad puppy. Now, I have used acetone before, so let's go get it and try it again. Let's see if this works. So the acetone is slightly removing some of the paint on there, so I'm going to let it sit for about 5-10 minutes, and then I'll be right back. Nail polish remover is only touching the gold. It's not touching the actual paint part, the actual black part at all. Okay, back to going to the stripper. Gotta go outside for that. Consequently, the gold part of this candle is the easiest part to remove. It was always the black that was really hard to remove. Heading out. Okay, just for information, acetone did not even touch this sticker on it, so I'm going to put stripper on this side and let it sit, and stripper at the top and let it sit. Time is up and we're out of sunlight, so let's do this quickly. Nope. We've moved the whole project inside because it's freezing out there and we're just cleaning up. So let me show you what. WD-40, acetone, and stripper did not touch this. And none of those touched this either. It did remove some of the gold lettering on it, but it didn't even touch any of the words that the citric acid did. So there you go. Part 5 coming up. I have no clue what we're testing in part 5. It is so cold, but you know what? I got some. I'm gonna go try. Since this is where the bear lives, over by this building, if a bear starts to eat me, it was nice knowing ya. Blair Witch Project. Ooh. Okay, there we go. Bears don't like noise, right? Even my cat is scared. Let's try this. Okay. I'll be back with you. I could be laying on the couch with a nice hot cup of coffee reading a book. That just does not sound like me. I'm still waiting. We're gonna be pleasantly not surprised. I'm calling it 7 minutes. Nothing. 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 It didn't even take the gold off in some spots. Yep. Okay, back to the drawing board. I did read an article where the woman had tried all of these things and she said that nothing worked but the citric acid with the paste, made into the paste. And I did the citric acid, a stronger citric acid in a water bath. That was amazing. It just floated off. So I'm saying that way, and I need to write it up for you guys all, do a video for you. The way that I did it the second time is the way to go. But thanks for the suggestions. And I'll try anything. I don't have the citrus strip, but I'm thinking that's going to be the same thing as a paint stripper. I was reading about it, and I'm not seeing how that's going to help any better than the paint stripper that I tried. Who knows? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it all out. Just stick with me. We got this. Welcome to my wild and crazy life where I do all of the testing to figure out which is the best method to remove stuff so you don't have to. You can just follow along with me or you can give me suggestions. I'm open to suggestions here. So this is plastic. It's very important that we know the container that we're working with. This is plastic and it's painted on, I'm going to say probably baked enamel. And I do know from experience, if I try mineral spirits or paint thinner or acetone, that it will etch and permanently mar the outside of the material. So let's try that really cool flower citric acid mixture that we made for the glass bottles, and let's see if it removes this without harming it. What do we have to lose? So to make, what we're doing is making a paste. So we're going to take about a teaspoon or so of citric acid and about that much flour. And we're going to mix just enough water in here to make a paste. I'll be back with that. And then we're going to take our paste and rub it, coat it like that, and let it sit for 10 minutes. I'm going to do this with all of them and then we'll come back and see if it rinses off. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see if it works. No, it's not going to work. Okay, back to the drawing board. Let's add more citric acid to this mixture and do it again. Touch more water. Let's heat up some water and submerge these in hot citric water bath. Remember, that's what worked for the glass. Ooh, let's try that. Okay, boiling water. Making a little bath. Stirring it around. Submerging him. Think we can do this guy too. Be back in 10 minutes. Not gonna lie, we're gonna go into a part 2 because I can't get this done in time. Welcome to part 2 of removing baked on paint from a plastic moisturizer container, plastic container, whatever. It's these little containers that things come in, and I want to reuse them, but I don't want the painting on them. And I've already tried acetone and paint thinner and all that other stuff, and it mars the outside of them and it makes it so that it's ugly. So I wanted to try to see if I could gently remove the baked on paint enamel. It's like a paint enamel. So we're going to do it together. Don't judge my sink because it's filthy. Now that I said that, you're going to look at my sink. Okay, here we go. I put more citric acid than you saw me put in there. So there's probably 2 tablespoons of citric acid in this little tiny container. And then I poured boiling water in it, stirred it around till it dissolved. And then I submerged these little containers and we're gonna see what we have. They've been sitting for 10 minutes. Ooh, there you go. Look, ooh, you can't see. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so it's coming off of that. I don't see anything coming off of this. So let me give this a scrub and then we'll work on the other one. Hold. Now we're working on this one. Okay. I did manage to get some of it off by using one of these, but as you can see, it scratches it. Now, I'm gonna let it sit in this stuff for a little bit, but I did read that baked enamel paint on glass comes off with a heat gun. A little bit concerned about trying it on plastic, but what do we gotta lose? Guess what's next? While we're waiting for this, we might as well try this. My bee daddy had some of this, and some of you guys had recommended that I try this to remove the baked on enamel from the glass. We'll talk about this in another video. Put that aside. I'm getting ready to go outside and I thought I would show you, I let it soak a little bit more and some of the letters started coming off. Let's go give it a heat. While we're at it, I grabbed the jar. Let's see if this works. I'm gonna have to do it off camera because we're running out of time again. But heat gun, woohoo, woo. This is gonna be the winner. I can tell you right now. Well, maybe not because it melts the plastic. Oops, carry on to the glass. Okay, it has removed some of this paint. Not a lot. I'm gonna go to the citrus strip. It also does remove some of this, but not very quickly, and it's hot. We all know we're heading into part 3, so hang on. This is part 3 of, actually it's more like part 10, of removing paint from containers. And many of you asked me or told me to try citrus strip. My dad happens to have some, so we're gonna try it. Here we go, going in. I have protected my surface and my counter, and we are not telling my husband that I am doing this inside the house. Okay, I'm gonna put it on all of these little containers, and we're gonna let it sit. I'm gonna go start doing something else. This stuff smells like an orange Julius. It's like dangerous, don't drink. Now we wait 30 minutes up to 24 hours. See you guys later. Okay, here's the deal. My husband's on his way home. I need to clean up this mess. It's been sitting for 4 hours and this is what we've got. This is where it melted right here. But, I mean, it did come off, but it did scratch the surface a little bit, but totally usable. I mean, can't gift it to anybody, but I can use it. Now, this. Be right back and I'll show you. Okay, it did a little bit on this one, but it did scratch it. But you can still see the writing right there. But here was the front. You can still see a little bit of the writing. So it works, but it scratches it, which is what I don't want. So technically, there's got to be something else out there. I mean, literally. Next up is the glass. Okay, let's see what we have. I'm gonna scrub, and we'll be back. This is the weirdest thing ever. It has removed the outer line and the numbers, but this stuff is like a totally different baked on paint. Continue. Okay, so the citrus strip worked a little bit, but not fully. Not on plastic, but on glass, it worked a little bit. But this is, see? But I'm not going to do any more on this because I'm going to save it for my next test. There you go, because you know there's going to be another part to this. Talk to you guys later. Because you know I cannot leave it alone. I'm running out of candles to do this too, by the way. Do you see my Facebook post on my personal page. Anybody have any empty candle things that they no longer want? I'll take them out of your trash. Yeah, I've done that before.